Okay, before we get going with this video, I want to give a big apology for the quality of the audio. I've got a new camera and a new lid, and the two combined on an untested video resulted in the audio quality you're about to see. Hopefully this audio is better, because I've had a bit of a play and a tinker with it all, but I'll explain more later in another video. So here it is, the 5 things I love about the K100RS. Thanks for watching. Alright, welcome back to Mapped, and the sun has come out rather unexpectedly. Hi bruh, and here I am on my K100RS. Doesn't she look pretty? I think she looks pretty. Okay, today we're going to go out on the bike and I'm going to list to you the 5 things I love about this bike. So let's go. Okay, hopefully that was a snazzy intro. Let's get this on with my quad lock. Actually, I'm quite proud of this little setup. I fitted a USB port right there, and this is a quad lock belt clip mount, but it worked really well on the fairing. So quad lock, if you're watching, he says. No, I can't get the damn thing on. There we go. This is a winner for fairing. Plug that in, and there we go. Lovely jubbly. Okay, I don't know where the sun's come from. It was meant to be torrential rain this morning, but I'm not going to knock it. So I thought I'd just go out for a quick blast. Today's plan is to go out to Dun and Massey. These gloves are a nightmare to get on. And go for a nice little ride on the K. Thousand. Some local youths there admiring the K, always nice. But I think she would seem oppressive to some guys that are on a 125. Oh, I'm so glad I'm out on the bike. Another one of those days when I woke up, so should I go out, shouldn't I go out? Very indecisive. I think the longer, well, I say lockdown, we're not technically in lockdown anymore. But the longer this situation goes on with COVID, the more of a hermit I'm becoming. The more scared I am about going out. So I need to try and push that to one side. So yeah, filled the bike up. First time I've done that in a while. I've only done about 200 miles or 300 miles on this bike since I bought it. I'm taking the opportunity to take it out as I am on the verge of selling it. Oh yeah. I'm decided to part ways with the K, and the primary reason is what I've already said. You know, I've had the bike for 2 years, and I've only covered 200 to 300 miles on it. I just don't ride it enough to warrant the costs of running it, which are marginal, but still, it's a cost that I can do without. But the main motivation for selling this bike is that the money that I can generate from its sale will cover a lot of costs with the GS, namely a service plan The BMW service plan is £820 for the GS. That covers 3 years, and that's the kind of thing I really want to have in place. That's what I had in place with my old bike, and that just makes sense. The more exciting stuff that it will allow me to do is get crash protection for the bike, as well as an aftermarket can, which I'm quite excited about. So I'm looking at a number of options for that. So that's why it's a very reluctant sell, and I know I'm going to regret it the moment it's gone, because I love this bike. But the hand on heart, I spend more time in the garage just looking at this bike than I do riding it. And if I could warrant that for an ongoing basis, then I would. But it just, again, it's one of those decisions for the head rather than the heart with parting ways. And I've pretty much achieved everything that I wanted to do with the bike too, as the project has pretty much come to a standstill. I've literally covered, replaced, resprayed or restored every part of the bike that wasn't at a reasonable standard. And I'm just a bit of a reality check. Here I am on a motorway plowing along at 70 miles an hour without a care in the world. This bike is brilliant, so good. Alright, I'll catch up with you guys in just a little bit when the scenery gets a little bit more pretty. See you in a bit. This is a lot of fun. Okay, so I've made my way off the motorway drag and on my way to Durham Massey. And I believe I'm going left here. I am so surprised about how well this bike is performing. I'm so proud of it for all the work that I've done on it. But no, I've got to stop because I'll just start reminiscing and start gushing over how much I love this bike. So let's start with the top 5 things I love about the K100RS, or my K100RS. So number one is the affordability of the bike itself. Ooh, gravel! See, these bikes are so affordable to pick up. They're so cheap on the market. I mean, they range, obviously, depending on condition, from anywhere from around 800 quid up to about 2,000 to 3,000 for a really good one. Which means these kind of bikes are so accessible to anybody, and they come with so much kit and so much tech for a bike that's, you know, relatively old, you know, but it's a ready-to-go tourer for anyone out there who wants to put some serious miles on a bike. And they're so comfortable and have so much power, but the access point, you know, is so low. I know that's a poor terminology, but you know what I mean. You know, the access to get onto the road with a good bike with a solid engine, and that's what I love about it. And that leads me very, very smoothly onto point number 2, is the what this bike can do, or what rather, let me rephrase that. Let me get out of this junction. There we go. Yeah, let me rephrase that. It's the potential this bike has. Now, BMW bikes have got a resurgence of popularity for custom. For the custom scene, particularly, you know, the whole modern retro, and the bike that's taken the the bike that's taken the lead on that is the R series, so the R80, R100, any one of those big boxes from back in the day. There's a real big demand for those bikes for custom machines. But following on from that, and on its coattails, is the K100. Because of that lower price point and because of that accessibility, they're also incredibly popular for what they can do. Now, I made the decision early on that the condition of my bike was too good for me to start hacking it up. If it wasn't, I would have gladly made a a custom machine from it. But yeah, I went the restoration route with mine. It's just phenomenal what you can do with these bikes, with any of the BMW bikes from the 80s in particular, or 70s, because they were made in such a way that they were easy to maintain yourself. All of the materials that you bought with the bike, so that as in the user's manual, became with all the instructions and the toolkit with it as well. Allowed you, it was very much designed for you to do the work on the machine, and that's something that I think that we've lost in modern day, which is a real shame. So yeah, number 2 on the list is the potential, the pure unadulterated potential with the K100 series. Not only is it affordable, so yeah, not only are they affordable, they are loaded with potential for what you want from a bike. Okay, so number three on my list. Now, part and parcel of working on this bike, as its primary function for me was a project bike. I bought it when I wasn't able to ride, and it allowed me to still feel part of the biking scene, and it did that oh so well. And as I've just covered, I decided to go down the restoration route with it. And what I didn't bargain for was the community. So number 3 is the community for the K100. This bike has got such a following. It's unreal. It's blowing me away, and it's just unreal. They've got so many forums, both in the UK and in the US, that I've relied on for info, for parts, for recommendations while working on this bike, and it's just been fantastic. I was able to track down my panniers on this bike from Germany via one of the forums, and it's just a testament to how helpful they were. I've had issues with my fuel gauge, and again, if you can't find a thread on one of these forums, you can simply post a question and you'll be inundated with people that will come back to you so quickly about what they've done, what they recommend, and all that kind of good stuff. I know this isn't a new thing, and this is something that is obviously around with cars and bikes alike, but it's the first time I've had direct experience with it, and it's been something really special that's made owning this bike particularly fun. So yeah, number 3, the community, the forums, and the general fans of this bike. They're really good, and they've been really helpful, and if any of you are watching this, thank you for all your support. I've really appreciated it. Here we are, done and Massey. Okay, let's see if I can find a spot. Need a spot so I can pull in. So pretty out here. Oh, this could be a spot. It's pre-book only in Dun & Massey, obviously. So I don't think I'll be able to get in there. So we'll just stop here for a moment, I think, as I want a drink. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I thought as I've pulled up, I've had a drink, I'll take the opportunity just to walk around the bike. This place is like Piccadilly Circus. It's so busy. So many cars have pulled up here since I've pulled up. Also, what's quite nice about having an older bike is that you get genuine attention on it from bike lovers. A guy came up on a bicycle, pulled up, and started talking about the K100s, how much he loved them, and we had a good old 10-minute chat about the ownership of older bikes. It was really nice, and you just don't get that with modern bikes. Well, at least I don't with the GS. But I thought I'd just quickly run through the bike with what I've done. I went with the restoration route rather than modification, as I've already covered. But we've done a lot from beginning to end, from sourcing the panniers, relining them to make sure they're waterproof, stripping back the engine, cleaning the whole thing, removing all the rust and restoring the frame, respraying the center stand and side stand, sourcing the belly pan and respraying it. Also doing the same with the brackets at the front, respraying because they were rusted over, holding the brake cables, so they've been redone. We've removed the wheels and deep cleaned those to restore the actual cast wheels. I've replaced all of the front fairing, resprayed the mirror housing, and that looks, I'm pretty proud of that because that looks really good, and that was damaged all the way through to the primer previously. I've recovered the seat because when I got it, it had a big old cut all the way from the back all the way to the front with duct tape on it. Resprayed the bar ends too. What else have I done? Oh yeah, more recently fitted the mount for sat nav, and also USB port is right there, which I'm again really pleased about. That worked out. And also sourced and set up all the decals on the bike, because when I got it they were all yellow and peeling, and that made a huge difference. Oh yeah, and the final thing that I always forget is sourcing the choke cover. I was so chuffed finding this, as again it was just like the little touches. Also replaced the mirrors because they weren't their best, and one was magnified and one wasn't, and which bugged me. And here it is. The final thing I put on the bike after respraying the stands was that rubber cap there. Again, final little piece to the puzzle. And I know I'm biased, but I think she looks really good. Bearing in mind she's like 35 years old, but she still gets attention, which is really nice to see. And I'm really proud of her, and I'm going to miss her a great deal when she goes. But she's a solid bike, really is. But anyway, let's carry on. So now I'm here, I'm not too sure where I'm going to go. Okay, I'm just going to sort myself out, get myself ready to ride, and I'll join you in a little bit. So I'll see you in just a moment. Okay, let's get ourselves ready to go. I've got no signal here, so there's no point messing around with this. I'm just going to pop it on the bike. So I'm just going to follow my nose around Dunham Massey for a little bit, make the most of this lovely weather, and finish up the top 5. Oh yes. Let's get you on. Alrighty, it's so pretty around here. Again, it's another recommendation for me to check out Dunham Massey. A great place to run out to on the bike on a lazy Sunday afternoon. Okay, so number 4 on the list, and this one is love it or hate it, but for me I love it. And number 4 is the looks. I love the looks of this bike. I think it's so distinctive. The fairing was unique back in 1986 as much as it's unique now. I love the big square headlamp at the front, and this fairing that wraps around the front and protects the rider is just fantastic. And more importantly, it works. You're so protected on the motorway. You have like a self-contained little bubble that you know, you can just ride for hours. And if I wasn't so uncomfortable on the bike, I mean, I would ride for hours on it, but that's more of limitations of me than anything else. I mean, BMW have got a history of hits and misses with regards to styling, both on their cars and on their bikes. But this one was definitely a hit, in my opinion. It gave something so unique to the market, and its stance as well. I've told you before on many a vlog that I've just spent more time staring at this bike than anything else. When it's up on its centre stand, it looks fantastic, it looks purposeful. I love the big indicators, they look fantastic on the bike. I love the mirrors that are encased as part of the fairing. This bike feels special when you're on it. It was expensive back in the day, just like BMWs are now, and it's a premium feeling bike, and that is down in no small part to the fairing and the general looks of the machine. It's just fantastic. So yeah, number 4 are the looks. I think she's a looker, particularly with the belly pan on. I thought she was a Marmite bike without the belly pan, but on the later models, when that belly pan came in, which I fitted to my bike, that's when the whole thing came together, in my humble opinion. I'm really enjoying myself. This is such a good call. I'm so glad I've got this opportunity to ride it before I say goodbye. Well, might be able to ride it again, hopefully, fingers crossed. Back into Dun and Massey. Okay, so we'll move on to number 5. Number 5 on the list. I'm wondering if you can guess what it is. Number 5 on the list, without a shadow of a doubt, is the engine. The flying brick. It's something so special and unique about this machine. That flat 4, it's just incredible. A unique engine for a unique bike, and it just plows and plows and plows, eats up the miles, and so smooth. I mean, this bike is the early incarnation of the K100, so this is the 8 valve model. Later on they brought in a 16 valve model, which was reportedly a lot more smoother, but still with the 8 valves, it's just fantastic. The noise as well, the noise of the machine is so distinctive. I can recognise the K100 anywhere. It's got such a unique noise, and it's superb. But not only that, I think the actual look of the engine is something special. It came out on a market where there was nothing like it, really. Something so special about that brick, the brick, and really made the bike what it is today with its appeal with the custom scene. And on another level too, it made it a DIY mechanic's dream. Everything is so accessible with that engine, with only a couple of plates on either side for you to access all the spark plugs and valves. So again, it's another plus really for anyone looking to pick up a bike who wants to learn, which is what I wanted to do your DIY on the bike. So there you go, folks. They're my top 5 on the K100RS. Let's see if I can remember them now for that summary. So, I don't think I can remember in the right order. So number 1 is the price, the accessibility of the bikes, so affordable. Number 2 is the potential of the bike. So much potential with these K bikes that you can do what you want with them. Number 3 is the community. Such a supportive network out there. Any problems you can reach out at any time, and there's a plethora of parts available too. They're all very affordable, I assure you of that. Number 4 are the looks of the thing. I think it's stunning, a complete statement of 1980s style. And number 5 is that engine. Let's see if I can, oh no, we're going to go this way. Get rid of that horse box. Well, again, only a bit of fun and more of a farewell to my beloved project bike. I will follow this up with the 5 things I do not like about the K100RS. But I hope you enjoyed this short little vid. I've enjoyed doing it. I hope you're all safe and well, and I'll be out again sharing my thoughts and ramblings very soon. Until then, take care. Bye bye.